Aloha, friends and neighbors. Somebody gave me this old broken iPhone, and one of my sons, Jimmy, fixed it up with a new screen, and I got the app. So I'm just checking up now just to see whether it's a good time to start the show. Where's the moon? Where's the moon? There it is. The moon's up there going towards the sun. Yeah, in Scorpio. We're going to have a new moon in Scorpio. So the sun and the moon and Mercury is at the top of the chart. And it's a pretty good time to start the show. Let's do it. Hey, you can get that app through my website. And you'll see a reference to it there. It's cheap. It's really fun. If you've got any kind of iPhone thing, this is the way to go. Now, I don't usually call in my successful predictions anymore, but in this case I'm going to take you back to program 1039 when Mars was on the square to Uranus, and I was talking about planes and trains. So I won't review the whole thing for you, except to say I was aimed right at this time here. When the moon opposed Uranus, squared Mars, there's a lunation, a full moon on Uranus. Mars came along and squared it, and I said, wow, we're going to have problems with airplanes and fires and stuff. And look what happened right on that date, huh? There were actually like 3 or more big notorious airplane fires and stuff, but this one was really dramatic. I'm going to play it for you.
After an American Airlines flight bound for Miami went up in flames, the plane was rolling down the runway when it was forced to abort takeoff. We saw intense smoke and flames on the right side of the plane. I want you to take a look at this dramatic moment inside of the aircraft as passengers scrambled to get off.
Look at them bailing out of there.
Oh my God.
Stay seated, jump inside.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Nobody got killed here.
Holy oh my God.
But it's pretty scary.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Some chilling video there as those people frantically tried to get off of
They
that
all had to
aircraft.
bail out of those
70
on the
people
slide.
on board, 20 people were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Now, I want you to take a listen to the controllers inside of the tower as all of this was happening.
That's enough. One guy inside the plane said, there's a total panic. And on the right side of the plane, the windows started melting. Eek! Here's another one. A FedEx plane on fire. There's so many plane problems, I can't go into them all. I think a Trump plane had trouble also. But look at this one. Here's an interesting one. Yeah, they're fighting in the cockpit. That's Mars, huh? Wow. Yep, we're going to do program 1044 and cover the first week in December 2016. I'm back here on the last couple days of October. Trying to get ahead on these shows. So I can spend a couple of weeks at the Big Pyramid in Mexico. Anyway, you just had a new moon. at 743 Sagittarius, which opposes the USA rising sign. The rising sign is your body, your physical stuff. Do you know your rising sign? What, you don't? You got to have your birth time to figure it out. And listen, if you don't know your birth time, don't know your rising sign, here's a freebie. Just you go to rollinfrost@yahoo.com, email me your birth date and the birth time, AM or PM, in the city, and I will figure out your rising sign, email back to you. Okay? Free service. You got to know your rising sign, folks. That's the real you. Not the sun sign. The sun is your father. The moon is your mother. You are the rising sign. So that last new moon, just a couple of days ago for you, if you're on December 1st, Thursday show, a couple of days ago we had a new moon opposing the U.S. rising sign. When that happens, like everybody's in your face, everybody's criticizing you, everybody's against you. You know, it's goes on for a month. The kicker is that there's a full moon coming up on the 14th of December at 22 Gemini. And that's on the USA Mars. You got a full moon on your Mars. Whoa, it's hard not to lose your temper. It's hard. What am I protecting has to be asked 1,000 times in the U.S. So we've got a new moon saying we got enemies. Everybody's criticizing us, even our friends, which goes on for 2 weeks. And then after the full moon, the middle of December, we have a whole month of anger issues. And we're likely to go off and get drunk and fight. So this is not a good time for the U.S., but, you know, the first 2 weeks, just notice even your friends are going to criticize you. The last 2 weeks of December, well, you're in a fighting mood. Not you, this is the U.S. government, okay? Let's get it straight. Just what that chart is. Let's look at this day by day and see what's coming up. Gee, I should have marked Neptune more brightly because, you know, that new moon you just had squared Neptune. And the beautiful fish went stale because it's a square and you're stuck with it. What's that bad smell? Eek. There. To remind me that Neptune's making a stink for the whole month of December. Scandal, scandal, liquids, deception, fooling. Anyway, what's it like day by day? We're going to run the moon around the edge of this planetary pattern. And as we do, it makes angles to the other planets and creates the mood of the times. And it's an interesting pattern. Astrologers have long called this a basket because there's a sextile, 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 see? And there should be a trine. I didn't draw it. Oh, there it is. 2 trines, sextile, sextile, half of the Star of David. So there's some very lucky places on this basket. Over here, these guys, they fight. It's an opposition, 180 degrees. But over here, Mars is catching nothing but trines and sextiles. He's going to have a good time, the sports figures. Muhammad Ali, my hero, born on my birthday, shares it with Ben Franklin. Stood right up. Stand up, Martians. And over here, here's Saturn. And Saturn's going to get a chance to do some goodies. Now, a lot of this happens when the sun hits that 17, 18 degree thing, which is your next weekend. Not, you know, you got to go through a week, and then the next weekend the sun will be at 17, 18, 19 Sag, and this stuff will really glow, and wonderful things could happen. So, there's a revolutionary spirit in the air. There's trines to Uranus. There's a bad smell amongst the priest, artists, doctor, musicians. The Pisces folks, lay out. You could pretend you're drunk all the time and you'll get the idea. So, we're going to follow the moon around the edge here. If you're on the Thursday night show, the moon's going by Mercury and making a nice sextile to Neptune. And you know, there's glamour, there's color, there's art, there's music. It's too bad Neptune's in such poor shape. But you could sing a song here Thursday night. There's some inspiration. On Friday, however, look out. The moon's in Capricorn, a cardinal earth sign, hits Pluto. Eek, a bug, panickiness. It squares Jupiter. Yes, overdoing it, too much. Panic. You know, the police are here. Look. So this is early Friday morning. Hope you don't wake up to alarm bells. At the very least, is that a bug on my foot? Friday night, on the 2nd, here's the square to Uranus. It's a little herky-jerky, and we feel a little bit alone. Remember, the square to Pluto happens first, power and control issues. Then the square to Uranus is all about, well, it's a conjunction to Pluto, huh? We're all thinking about Pluto, underground Scorpio stuff. What do you mean, take the rest of the oil out of the ground? Anyway, here's Uranus. And he's not doing so well. The moon's squaring Uranus, and we don't like the news and stuff. But late Friday, this is midnight, 1 a.m., here's a sextile to Venus. And there's some pleasure and some fun around, huh? Could be kind of nice. Oh, that's a conjunction, excuse me. Here's Venus. See, in your next 10 days, Venus is going to go from here over to here. So the moon goes by Venus Friday night late. You could see it when, you know, this thing goes around once a day, and so as the sun goes down, let's say this is the horizon, this is the descendant. The sun goes down, well, here's Venus up here, and the moon will be on it. It's Friday night. Go out and watch the moon and Venus with somebody you love. Friday is Venus's night, vendredi in French. Yes, so lots of Venus. Take advantage of it. Get you some loving. Be loving. If you're loving, loving will come to you. You'll still feel it Saturday morning. As the moon goes into Aquarius, however, it becomes more intellectual and less physical. About noontime, when the moon leaves Capricorn, not so much randy animal pleasure. That's Capricorn. I know, I got Sun, Mercury in Capricorn, and my Venus in Capricorn. Well, anyway, Aquarius is more intellectual, and you'll feel that way after lunchtime Saturday as the moon moves into Aquarius. The action is on Sunday, December 4th, when the moon's going into the Mars zone here. Now, it's part of the basket. And so first, there's a nice sextile to the sun. Middle of the day, Saturday, or Sunday the 4th, I got ambition. I got a plan. I want to get something done. Yeah, and then there's a trine to Jupiter. Got extra money. Wisdom flows. Aha, now I see it clear. And Mars is there. I can do this physically. You know, I can be a hero. I'll need the exercise anyway. Sunday afternoon. Very nice. Now, finally, even through Monday morning, here's a nice sextile to Uranus. And the technical things are going well. So this is a good time. Especially if you want to do some physical stuff. Yeah. Sunday night, Monday morning. Now, Monday afternoon, later, almost at the dinner time really, the moon shifts into Pisces. Pisces is here, a mutable water sign. Things get dreamy. Why? Because Pisces is Neptune's sign. Yeah. And you're in the Neptune zone already, which we know can be tricky. I thought it was water and threw it on the fire and it was gasoline. Anyway, the confusion really begins. What's that? Oh, it's a sextile to Saturn. No, it isn't. It can't be there. I don't know what that is. But Tuesday, the action starts when the moon goes by the south node, and you feel like you need some help. And here's Neptune at 9 degrees, and that's Tuesday around the middle of the day, and you could be inspired if you're lucky and and this 9-degree Pisces hits your chart right, angels could come. You could do artistic work. You could see the colors and the music better. Yeah, it can be Neptune's a lovely planet if you're on the right side of Neptune. If you're on the other side of Neptune, and you got planets immutable squaring or opposing it, wow, there are bad smells, confusion, delusion. You got to watch yourself Tuesday. Do not drink. Neptune's on the south node. And, yeah, the new moon squared it. So, yes, all of these idealistic religious people are going to have trouble. And those that use alcohol and think they're special. Trouble, trouble, trouble for Neptune. It's so bad that it stops you from what you're doing Tuesday night. Here's late. Here's 11, 12 o'clock, and the moon squares the sun. I can't get nothing done. And then Wednesday morning, the moon's still in Pisces, and it squares Saturn. And you're stuck. Doggone it, I just got slowed down. Can't do all this stuff. What's going on? Well, Neptune made a fuss, made a stink, spilled everything. The water rose, and anyway, it stopped you doing what you want to do Tuesday night through Wednesday morning. You're just kind of stuck, probably all the way through Wednesday while the moon's in Pisces. Yeah, on Thursday, December 8th, the moon shifts into Aries. The whole ball game changes. And right away on Thursday morning, there's a nice sextile to Venus. And love, sweet sex is there. Nice Thursday morning. Set your alarm early and stay in bed late. Thursday night, however, the moon in Aries gets to that opposition to Jupiter. Too many clowns. Jupiter's clowns, you know. The clowns are scaring everybody. Well, here's the clowns. And actually, the clowns don't come in Thursday night. There's a little red mark there. This area got so crowded. What comes first? Let's see. There's the trine to the sun. I got ambition Friday morning early. Get up early. I'm going to go do something. Yeah, and then comes the opposition to Jupiter. Too much. Everybody else wants too much. Too much. Too many clowns. And that comes in probably breakfast time to lunchtime. And then there's a settling down. Yeah, there's a trine to Saturn. Okay, we'll limit the money and the time a little bit, and we'll come right in on budget, and everything is hunky-dory. Yep. And you'll feel good about it all if you get by the Jupiter thing at breakfast. That's where the problem is. The moon's going to go by Uranus and square Mars, and so there's a little anger around, but there's a lot of independence and genius coming out Friday afternoon. It'll take you right through Friday night. You'll feel independent as can be. A lot of neat stuff is happening here on the Aquarian level. Uranus rules Aquarius. Saturday morning, well, the moon shifted into Taurus. You're back in the Neptune zone because Taurus sextiles Pisces. And here's Saturday night. Here's a sextile to Neptune. Now you got to be a little careful. Half of those fish are bad fish. You know. Did you read the label? When you smell something, did you investigate the smell or did you just pass it off as nothing? And if you get sleepy when you're driving Saturday, it's not because you're sleepy. Carbon monoxide got into your car and it could knock you out and kill you. So open up all the windows, get fresh air. If you're sleepy when you drive, it's always carbon monoxide. Always. Anyway, Saturday night's inspiring. You could write poetry, sing music. There's words, there's preaching, there's read some Jesus. And when you read the word heavens in the King James, substitute sky. And remember, Jesus was well trained in astrology at Alexandria. So it's all over the Bible. King James couldn't get it all out. Nice Saturday. Very lovely. You know, have a glass of wine. Write down your high thoughts and emotions. Sunday, here's a nice trine to Pluto. There's Discovery. There's check out the Discovery Channel or the History Channel or whatever's going on the internet. The new stuff, huh? underground stuff is great. If you haven't checked it out, check the Bosnia pyramids. It's a whole new world of pyramids. All these big, huge pyramids aren't 5,000, 6,000 years old like we've been told in school. No, they're 30, 40, 50,000 years old. There's a history on this planet, and it's coming out over in Bosnia by non-corporate archaeologists, non-government archaeologists. People come from all over the world to do research there, and they're welcome. You can go there, you know, on the summertime and help dig out the tunnels. I'm wondering, there's all these amazing tunnels, talking Pluto here, yeah? All these amazing tunnels for healing and high positive ions and good air and good water. All this stuff, amazing stuff goes on in the tunnels underneath the pyramid, and they're just learning about it. But the strangest thing is all the tunnels, and there's miles and miles of them, were filled with gravel and little rocks. Somebody went in there after the tunnels were all dug and all made up and all these goodies, and they filled all the tunnels. There's an enormous amount of labor. Why did they do that? We don't even know why they built the tunnels. Maybe to escape the deluge from the melting ice age or the great meteor shower, or we don't know. Maybe the sun was going off in solar flares, but they knew, and they wanted the tunnels there for some reason. But so far what we found out in Bosnia is it's very healing. People that go down the tunnels with a shovel and a little wheelbarrow to dig out all that gravel, and they grin and they love it and they have fun and they stay on longer, and here you are 2-3 kilometers into this tunnel and grinning like a silly and getting healed. Amazing stuff. Pluto underneath things. So if you got nothing else to do Sunday morning, Google or Yahoo or use your search engine and go for Bosnia Pyramid. Listen to Dr. Sam and the latest discoveries. Wonderful stuff. By the time you get to Sunday night, well, here's the square to Mars. Everybody's impatient and angry after dinner. You know, you got to ask yourself what you're protecting. Don't upset your digestion. It'll all pass. I don't know why I seem to be stuck in Pluto here. I was just telling somebody about this on the phone. I thought I'll serve it up to my audience. This guy's name is Lavoisier. My education was chemical engineering at Berkeley, the first formal college. And Lavoisier was very famous in my world. Gas laws. He did all kinds of amazing stuff in chemistry. One of the fathers of chemistry. Lavoisier. But what you won't find in the books or any of these other places is that Lavoisier was also a very famous astrologer. Yes. And he was also, unfortunately, an aristocrat. And he was really helping people, but he got caught up in the revolution, and they put him in the cart and took him to the guillotine. So Lavoisier did this amazing experiment. He said, well, as long as you're going to guillotine off my head, I'm interested to see how long the head lives after separated from the body. So Lavoisier said, after, my head is off, why don't you just hold my head up so the crowd can see it, and I will blink as many times as I can until I fade off. Lavoisier, the astrologer. Really good astrologer. So they did that. Off with his head. He got guillotined. They held up his head by the hair. The crowd could all see. And 1, 2, 3. The crowd counted. And I think he got to 14 or something. And then he just kind of went to sleep. 14 seconds? I'm not exactly sure the number. It was around there someplace. But by golly, that's an experiment. That's Pluto, huh? Wow. You all don't know, but in my capacity is safety. I did a lot of fire work. Yeah, PRI was all about fires, flammable liquids and gases. I was there for about 7 years. I was head of the foam committee. We organized all the fire departments on the island to standardize foam and did a lot of good anti-fire work. Well, that's why I'm here showing you this, is that we know that Neptune is flammable liquids and gases, okay? It's hydrocarbons. And he stopped here back 2 weeks from you, but he's making a bad stink because the new moon squared him. Now here's Mars, which we count as a source of ignition. Oops. And when you look at the end of December, here's Mars at 8-9 degrees of Pisces. Yeah. And that's where our friend Neptune is, making a stink. 9 degrees, see? So Mars is going to hit Neptune at the end of the year, during the holidays. And this isn't, this could be fires, not electrical and airplane fires, but fires of a different sort with flammable liquids and gases. And they can be pretty deadly. Now, let's see, the moon goes by there. Never mind. More on that later. Don't forget now, don't know your rising sign? Well, check up on the birth time. Make sure you get it from the birth certificate. Don't listen to what mom says. She could be off a lot. Email your astrologer with the date, the time, AM, PM, and the city, and I will email you back your rising sign and the ruler of the midheaven. The midheaven is the public you. It's almost as important as the rising sign, the body you. And of course, skymirrorastrology.com/TV. You can get the last 5 or 6 shows there. I'm trying to get ahead like 2 months. So I'm talking to my web supervisor about how far ahead should I post these shows. Here I got 3-4 shows I've already done. Should I post them early? I mean, confuses people. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do about that yet. I just know I got to get the head on the shows. If you got an opinion about that, email me your opinion. rollinfrost@yahoo.com. Mahalos. You know, that crummy crude in North Dakota belongs to all of us, not to just somebody that has a license. And when Neptune is making a bad smell, things could happen up there. And if they keep putting the dogs in the tanks and throwing people in jail and doing stuff, you don't know. Mars could start a big fire.